So I don't want you to have to go memorize, gee, color is this, line is that, value is this, balance is that, rhythm is this, proportion, shape. That's not important. It's looking at your painting and saying, what's my intention? What do I want to do with my painting? What do I want my art to be? Where do I want people to focus? Because where you focus in your art is how you, the conductor, plays the music. You want to direct people to focus on your art in a certain location. If you can first start off with an intention in your painting to focus the viewer in a specific location in your painting that's primary, that's the star of the show, then your painting's going to be stronger. There's another way you can do this, and this is part of that focus, is that you can come in here and bring your eye around. That's the golden rule. So whether it's this type of dimension coming around or this, you use directional lines, you use shapes, you use values. The most important thing is value and shapes. That's what's going to direct you most. So warm and cool, warm and cool. So the reason why is because this red has yellow in it. Do you see it? This yellow has red in it. You can't see these yet, but when I mix them with white, you're going to see them. So there is my basic palette. And I set up every time I paint. Even if I'm just coming back to paint a particular part of the green forest, even though I'm painting a blue wave, that's my palette. And you'll see why as I start mixing colors a little bit. This is the next step you got. So I've got a mix with each of these and a mix with each of these. Do you see how that tells you the temperature? Do you see how that tells you the temperature really quick? Even here, do you see how this looks towards green and this looks towards red? Now that comes in really handy when you start mixing the colors. So if I want to make it purple, we all know how to do that. I'm going to take the ultramarine and I'm going to take my alizarin, because they're both cool colors. And if I mix two cool colors together, I get a brighter, more brilliant color. The phthalo blue, the phthalo green, the ultramarine, the alizarin are very transparent colors. What do people not usually learn about? Transparent colors. What do they not usually have demonstrated to them? How to use the transparent colors, how to do layers, how to do them quickly and change a painting fast. Now that doesn't mean you want to overdo this thing. You have to have value there to begin with, but you can do a lot of adding value and color at the same time with transparencies when they're dark colors. Have you ever seen acrylic painters that have 4 values of the same color? But each one's lighter, or maybe each one's warmer, or each one's cooler. Because everything has to do with warm and cool, light and dark. Now I don't use black much. I don't mind using black, but most people use it to paint with. It's not to paint with. It's to add value to another color. It's to dull it. Now what do you do with basic black to make your other colors? Everybody has brown and earth tones, and you can buy earth tones, and I don't mind using earth tones at all. I like them. But if you're painting and you need a color, it's nice to know how to make it. And it's nice to know how to change your color. So if I take my basic black and I add red to it, I start going to a brown tone. Now notice I added cadmium red to it. Why did I add cadmium red? Yeah. It's got yellow in it. And so add yellow. Now I'm picking up a little bit of white, and that's going to fill it up. So I need to come back and pick up more cadmium red. I picked up the wrong red. That's my rose. And sometimes you have to buy a paint other than maybe a cadmium and alizarin because you want more intensity in the color. An example would be dioxine purple. You can't quite mix that bright a purple. It might be rose red. You can't quite mix that vibrancy of red. It might be a quinacridone color. Quinacridone has a wonderful transparent, any color that says quinacridone has a wonderful transparency and a lot of strength. So sometimes you do want another color, particularly with acrylics. So if I add more of this to it, I'm getting browner. Yeah. If I'm painting a portrait and I want brown for the skin to be darker, wouldn't I be better off using my black or my blue and red, cadmium red, and be able to make a dark tone that is rich, that doesn't dry flat. And when you're painted and you use your brown and you look at your painting afterwards, and the painting where the brown is really flat, the other part of the painting is shiny, it's hard to match up the colors afterwards. You mix your colors, no problem. So I'm going to take my cadmium, which still has a little bit of red in it, and I'm going to go in between the two to make it orange. And I'm going to mix that.
With your black, was that mixed with black?
I started with black,
Okay.
added cadmium red, added more cadmium red, and then I added cadmium red and yellow to make the same as if you took orange. So now I've got a nice dark ochre. If I add more red here, I'll get a burnt sienna color, very close to burnt sienna. So you just, what I'm doing, I'm going right down my line, and I'm adding cadmium red, cadmium yellow, and zinc. Don't get confused, just lay it this way. Now if I turn around and add a little white to it, I'm going to make it opaque. This is still pretty much transparent. There's no white in it. When you add white, you make it opaque. And you could, of course, add white to each one going down the scale and have more values yet to paint your portrait. This is the same thing as buying an acrylic value set. You know, where you buy one, value 3, value 5. Because when I talk about value, I'm talking of a scale of 1 to 10. Okay? So up here, these values, when we look at the scale, that's probably a 4 to a 7. I'd say like this might be a 4, this might be a 6, and that's probably an 8. So now what do I do at the end of the day? I take all these colors, and I mix them together, and I put them aside on my palette, and I always try to keep at least a quarter size blob. That doesn't even get there yet. I could add that to it too, just to get rid of it. I usually keep my dark and warm colors together, so I add it all together. And then if I want to tomorrow make a green, I just take my phthalo green and add that to it, and I get some beautiful greens. If I want to make it lighter and I don't want it to be distant, I'm going to add, that had a little bit of white in it because I picked up that white. And usually I don't want to put white in my blob, but if I want to get it lighter, if I add a little bit of red tone to it, that's the cadmium yellow. And if I add my zinc yellow, I'm going to get more intensity. You see the intensity? Anytime you add a cool color, you get more intensity. Don't confuse it. Don't try to make it. So today I've got a beautiful green made from my leftover color. Maybe I want blue. So now I'm going to go back to my blue color. I'm going to add a little bit of my phthalo blue. Come down here, take this color, and I want a nice blue. Blue-green, great for the ocean. Still a lot of yellow in that. So I'm going to hit my phthalo, I'm going to hit my ultramarine, and do it again. And I'll start getting, because the ultramarine has the red, and it's going to gray, keep it gray. But now I've got a blue. And if I want to see what color I've actually got in that nice blue-green, this is great for distant blue-greens. So I take that, and I'm going to add some white to it, and I can see what color I've got. I don't have blue enough yet. And if I want a little bit bluer, add some more blue to it to go where I want. Now I've got an ultramarine blue that's dulled down beautifully. Okay, so you can control your color.
Purple.
So same with the red. If I want to take that color, and this is usually more of a gray tone than what I've got, but I want to add the red, I'll bring it right back to some strength. There.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. See how nice? I can take any one of my blobs of all my colors and do that. And this will get you making secondary colors that are not so out of the tube raw, that are just beautiful.